Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Mazel tov. Congratulations on 100. Congrats on 100, man.
Yeah, so, we've been here before. This is on the Journeymen Lounge podcast channel, but this is another installment of the Aaron and Wode show. So, usually we've
co-host.
Usually we've done I think more tabletop games than just standalone episodes, but I think we have a couple of each.
I think we have one standalone episode.
I think we did because we did a couple.
Oh no, it was tabletop. It was tabletop. Yeah.
But we did 2 tabletop games, I think, and then we also did 1 or 2 at your table.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about this was just. Oh yeah, you're right. We did the one at my table.
Yeah, this was we're coming from our father's place. We're watching the Bears.
I'm getting old.
On
I
Monday
can't remember.
night. The reason for doing this, I guess, is just more of we were both free, but I'm glad it kind of worked out right after the 100th. I know you had a chance to see it. I know anybody who's watching this, we gave a pretty solid shout out to you, but I mean, it was, I think, pretty well deserved. Without you, there is no podcast, plain and simple.
I would never take that credit. I just help facilitate things, get them faster, get them going there, and help build it off. I still, though, want to go back to your original concept you brought to me, which was do a live show. And we still have not been able to do it. Man, if we could do a live show, I think that would be great. Maybe 150, because I hear 150 is going to be a big one. I hear 150 is going to be a big one.
We literally have 0 plans for 150 right now.
There are 0 plans for 150. I can attest to that.
No, I can honestly say that a live show is in the mix for happening at a certain point. There are just obviously a lot more logistical nightmares with a live show in that. One, I just basically want to make sure that the reason or what we're doing it for, I would probably personally think that if you just did a live show of us doing like the normal portion of the podcast, you maybe want to do it a little bit bigger, do something.
You got to make it special.
Right.
You got to make it special, something that's never seen before, something that makes people want to tune in, want to see it, want to be there to see it live. And not later after it's been heavily edited.
I would definitely like to see it around some sort of event. I don't know exactly what that is, but at least some sort of thing that, again, people, like you said, can tune in for. It's not just like, hey, it's 3 guys on their couch again, hanging out like every other episode or most episodes,
Well, let's do the math on this really quick. So we're at episode 100.
Well, this is technically
next week. It's going to be 101. This is going to be episode 101.
This is 101.
Oh, really? So this is the whole episode for 101, or is this going to be like the preamble to 101?
No, we'll do 101 because, again, we wanted, I mean, for those of the listeners that did tune into the 100th, I think we gave you a shout out one, but I think we had said like you wanted to be on the 100th. It just didn't work out with scheduling.
It sure didn't.
But, again, I feel like this is a natural thing. That obviously we're not doing a movie review or anything like that, but
we'll be doing a Bears review, that's for sure.
But we will talk about the Bears in a little bit. But overall, though, it is a thing where like kind of wanted to get you on at some point soon, so that it was like, hey, we wanted to have you on for the 100th. We made do with what we could, which is a Monday night.
It was an unfortunate scheduling issue. I know we were trying to make it work. Things aligned for me to make it a little bit more of a possibility.
Sure.
But unfortunately didn't happen. And even then, I like being behind the camera instead of on it. Yeah. I think you guys have been doing a great job of presenting and making it a thing. Now, if my math is correct here, this is episode 101.
Sure.
Let's assume somewhere in there you take a vacation. Mm-hmm. So in 1 year, it'll be episode 150. So we got a whole year to figure out what that could be.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely have a...
There should be fireworks.
Okay. Don't have to convince me twice. Or tell me twice.
It'll just be Bobby with a cigar firing off a bottle rocket inside of your house.
I think whatever can get the viewership up, you know what I mean? But no, I think the 150 will be, I think it only is logical to have everything kind of be bigger and better every year. Now, again, it doesn't mean it's going to be insane. I think baby steps kind of go into certain things, but overall, I mean, anybody who watched the 100th was, I think you can see we obviously put a lot more time into stuff behind the set with the jersey wall and the kind of topics that we went into, and we're doing a lot of that stuff. But overall, again, 150, it definitely is nice to kind of revolve around football. As
comes
again,
back to the
as
roots.
we did 100, it fucking coincided with the first game of the season, which was kind of shit, but whatever.
Yeah, you know what? It worked out. It's better than starting midway through the season. But let's go back to that really quickly.
All right.
Tell me the origin of the podcast. How did it come about? What inspired the idea?
Well, if I remember correctly, you had just said, "Do you want to do a podcast?"
Do you want to build a podcast?
I mean, what's going on?
Copyright strike.
Oh, don't.
Disney is ruthless.
Yeah, Disney's not looking out for the little guy. But I would just say, again, in a general sense, there was you and I communicating about, kind of doing, seeing a lot of podcasts, how is it? I think it was kind of maybe initially designed or at least trying to mold around, a video game stream, football stream type of deal, and then obviously kind of physical limitations of what we could do and what we wanted. Our aspirations were higher than our...
So if I can guide you a little bit, this is my memory of what happened, is that you were watching football with your friends.
Sure.
And you guys got to talking, and you sat there thinking, I think amongst the three of you, it was probably you, Bobby, and Ryan, thinking that, boy, we should be recording this and putting it out there. And then you called me the next-ish day and said, what do we have to do to make a podcast? It's got to be live. It's got to be on YouTube live. I need to do it on live. And I said, I don't know. I've never done that. I can tell you what to do for an audio recording, and that's where I would say start with audio and then go to video. And you were very, very insistent it needed to be video. So we cobbled together some things and got it to work. Yeah, you got the face for TV. I have the face for broadcast, for radio. But we got things together, got a camera, borrowed from my brother, and I think we've actually talked a little bit about this on the podcast before, about kind of how we started with the technology. And then kind of went from there. And it wasn't until maybe a year later where I finally figured out how to get a live broadcast going. And since then, I've been on your rear end about doing it again and trying to get up there and do it. Because it'd be fun.
The goal is to eventually get there. I think there was definitely a period of we need to figure out what we can do well to begin with, which I think, again, having an edited thing, where, again, I pride myself a lot on not cutting out so much stuff that is we need to cut out that 3 seconds here so it's no dead air or whatever. Again, I think it's more natural that way, but in general, again, we've kind of found a groove of how we do this thing very well. Now the next logical step is to then figure out, hey, what can we do well in another lane? Or again, the live podcast, live show is something that we definitely want to approach. But I would say that there was a kind of a logical arc of let's get the the plane in the air, and then try and land it, and do that. But
my recollection of it is you fought me really hard when I was saying no, just do audio first.
Well, that was
even video was the compromise. We were like, no, it's got to be live. It has to be live with the game. I was like, well, that's going to be even harder.
I mean, I think there's a very, very large portion of just inexperience and naivete about.
Well, I don't think it was that. I think it was having a dreaming big.
But I think it's just, again, I didn't know. At that point in time, all I did was look at podcasts. And I go, I see the podcast, this is what I want to do. Now, flipping the script, now you see what goes into it and why there's a fucking full-time producer on podcasts. Because, being the executive producer and on
editor,
in front,
sound, key grip, best boy.
It's a bunch. Best boy is such a crazy term for, what do they even do?
I'm not very clear on that, but
always
they do
says
something. And
best
a lot
boy
of it,
in
a
the-
lot of it is like these are jobs that existed, and then they kind of credits came later. They're like, "What does that guy do? He's the best boy." Best boy.
Thumbs up. Maybe like just an old Hollywood term that just stuck.
There are things that come up there, like the key grip and all
Yeah.
that. So you having now been a prolific editor, you're talking about the natural, like leaving that natural silence in there, and I think there's another unspoken thing for it, and anybody who's edited video can tell you, if you're editing audio, it's a breeze to take stuff out and change it
Sure.
around because you don't see the matrix glitch of the video when somebody's talking about something, they just cut over here and they cut back over there, and they look like Mr. Smith is coming in, or Agent Smith is coming in. So, I mean, like, that is like a huge inspiration to not cut those things and cut the silences and let it be natural because, for one, it looks better. It may not always sound better, but it looks better. And you kind of develop those skills as you go. So to that, I'm going to ask you kind of right now, after 100 episodes in, what does that production process look like from start to finish? I mean, do you do pre-production meetings? Do you do a setup type of thing? Can you like kind of walk us through?
Yeah,
how
I'll
that
take it
looks?
behind the scenes. Now, again, if we had, which I do enjoy, and maybe if we had another, somebody who's hanging around like that doesn't like to be on the camera, like Kyle or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point we'll do a little background video or something like that as we're kind of getting ready. But I would say the general sense is that we like to keep things very loose in just the sense that we do have a pre-production meeting as we're kind of setting up all the equipment, going through that, thinking about the topics, thinking about what we want to say. Doing a movie review and an album review for the most part kind of locks you into what the majority of the topics are. There's just a couple floating topics that kind of pop up here and there. But the biggest thing that I think is not like it's a thought in your mind though, is I'm getting things set up, and then it's all about like the look of like, okay, is the camera in the right spot? Am I getting everything in frame and all that stuff? Because I've done it before where I've done it shittily, and then I'm looking back at the thing and I'm like, well, can't really delete this and then do it again. So I'm just like, fuck it, we'll leave it that in. But that's been like a bigger thing to me of like, how does it look? Is it symmetrical? Are we looking kind of in frame, or like we're kind of doing stuff? But just in general, I would say the biggest part, like, we have a lot of fun and we're hanging out, we're talking shit during football. You're kind of naturally like the game's on, so you're always like nicely picking up and having a good time and all. So like it is very much a hangout while we're podcasting, which makes it very fun to do. I would just say again, in general, the fact that there is a lot. Again, we run very, very skeleton crew and skeleton equipment, very bare bones. So it is nice to not have to do it. Like, I think I took one trip to take all the podcast stuff and bring it in here. Yeah. But at the same time, that's kind of what you're getting. I mean, in the view of it is, that type of stuff. So again, that's the same thing with that progression to a live show, a bigger show, or stuff like that, is that we obviously improve the equipment. I will say it's made Christmas shopping and birthday shopping a lot easier over the last couple of years. I very much appreciate that. Yeah. And it's gotten, it's some pretty cool gear, I think, that goes and complements everything. At this point, to my knowledge, you have the ability to record in 4K video, audio record up to 4 microphones. Yep. You can do phone call-ins if you really wanted to get it going. We've had a couple. You've been able to make that work with the Bluetooth on the recording device. You're able to go mobile. We have some other advancements and investments that have kind of come along the ways. I've also been adding to my stock. One of the things I'm looking forward to is Turkey Bowl, and I'm hoping, as you guys talked about it in the podcast, the Kick of Destiny Part 2. Yeah, so I mean that was mentioned on the 100th. Is that was one? God, charge the camera this time. I know. Ryan mentioned that too. He did mention it, and I'm still pissed about it. Yeah, but check out the Kick of Destiny, or the Kick of Optimism, I think is what we called it. Or You watch a guy who did not stretch basically at all, miss a kick, and then go eat a bunch of pancakes after, which I took home first prize. So what's up? But yeah, I think those type of things are for sure going to be in the cards.
We did something that morning before going to do that kick too, because everybody was late getting there. I remember sitting in that parking lot for like 20 minutes, and then he showed up and the camera was dead.
Yeah, that was my bad. As again, it was
like, you did what?
That was in the early. That was in the early going
sorry,
for
man.
sure of not really understanding how producing works.
Yeah.
You need to charge the equipment.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you need to bring the equipment.
Oh man, it was.
I mean, we got it kind of. We got Ryan's like 3 minutes of him walking up doing a shitty Blair Witch type of deal.
Oh, and the camera died. And did that make it in the video?
Ryan's like little walk up was like the first like 2 minutes of it, and then we pretty much shot yours.
The good news is the next time we do it, we got 3 cameras we could do it on. 3 cameras to record on. So you can give Ryan his Blair Witch camera, and he can just do whatever he's going to do.
Sure.
But you can use the other 2 cameras for production value.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, we got there's so many things that again I think is you're kind of asking about the initiation of the initiation's the wrong word, but the origin of the podcast and how it goes. Like, it's so night and day to like
origin story.
Yeah, but basically like so night and day to being like, here's one camera. We're not really sure if we're going to get it. We're going to record like 2.5 to 3 hours. Like, some of those first episodes, I will say, are quite rough to watch. Like, some people I for sure will know, like, have been like, man, I tried real hard, but I got through like 30 minutes of it.
That first episode's still in the vault, buried underneath.
I mean, that's
700 miles of concrete.
I mean, I've joked about it, but that is basically plutonium, so it'll never be.
I used to work with that stuff.
But yeah, that first
Not
episode.
True. It was radioactive.
Again, maybe 60 years from now, we'll throw that out, and
maybe
on my deathbed, just go, fuck you.
It'll be on my deathbed because it's on my computer,
Fair
buddy.
point.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall,
luck,
again, the journey of the Journeymen Lounge podcast has been it's been a wild ride for sure. It's been a lot of fun. I honestly thought at a certain point possibly there would be points where you're like, yeah, this just isn't happening, or we gotta take a break, man. We gotta pause on it. But we've been nice to adapt to certain things, and
I think that's a definite plus. And I remember those early episodes too, coming in and being able to help. And unfortunately, it was at some personal cost to me because I would sometimes fall asleep while you guys were recording.
It's all right,
because I had worked the whole overnight before, and at that point it was like 24 hours, 26 hours that I had been up, and I was toast. But all of the content has always been great, and it has always been a real fun thing to watch. It's been a fun thing to watch evolve. One thing I want to share is one of my favorite things doing in the very beginning was the end credits. And I don't know why, but the end credits always crack me up, of just being able to like go in there, and I always loved it in movies where you have like the weird credits snuck in.
Yeah.
But writing those credits were great, and seeing him still present in the 100th episode, albeit truncated, and I understand why, but it cracked me up. Because
I'll be honest, I don't have your creativity for the additional, and I will be also honest, the guest list, honestly, we have not really had as many guests, I think, as we'd like, but I think this is actually going to start ramping up in the sense that we're into fantasy football now. I've extended it to everybody in any of my leagues. Come on, talk football. Like, let's fucking have a good time, watch a game. So I think we're going to start ramping up with more guests, which then will lead to more innovative quotes.
And this is really the most exciting thing for me, because as far as a fantasy football podcast goes, when you all started, you weren't in the same league, and it frustrated me to no end.
Well, if I'm being honest, as you bring it up, I mean, the job of being an unpaid commissioner,
yes,
it's a tough one. It's right up there with nuclear scientists. It's a lot of politics to navigate,
Hey,
and
there are
nobody respects you. So it's really hard getting anything fucking done.
I mean, it worked well for the guys in Russia.
Oh boy.
I just watched the Chernobyl series again. It was what great television. Fortunate event.
Chernobyl series. I was going to say,
Yeah.
isn't there a Chernobyl movie that sucked?
They did make a movie about trying to go and revisit Chernobyl afterwards. I saw it at a drive-in.
Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Do you happen to remember the other movie?
terrible. What was the other movie? Do you remember it?
Uh-huh.
What was the other movie?
Men in Black 2.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I think I've only ever seen Men in Blacks in drive-thrus.
And I think I fell asleep. during
You're
that.
right, it was Men in Black 2. Or was it Men in Black 2 or was it Men in Black 3?
No. Men in Black 3 came out like 7 years ago. Oh, shit. We're in 2025. Like
Yes, we are.
10 years ago. Fuck.
That's, I think, when Chernobyl Diaries came out.
Okay.
That's the name of the movie, Chernobyl
Maybe
Diaries.
Chernobyl Diaries, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Men in Black 3. Either way, I fell asleep.
The Lost Art of Drive-Thru movies.
Yeah, dude, I just
Or
passed by
drive-in movies.
the one down North Ave, I think.
Yeah.
That one closed down. I think the only one is right by
There's one in
St. Andrews now.
One in McHenry, there's one in Grays Lake.
Okay, I'm just saying the one near.
Yeah, the one near us is definitely gone.
Right around there.
So, 100 episodes is a huge accomplishment. 100 episodes is a huge thing to do. And not many podcasts make it 100 episodes. And, I think key elements of it is it's got to still be fun. It's got to still be relevant. I'm really looking forward to this iteration, this season, if you will, because all three of you are finally in the same fantasy football league. And I think that opens it up to a world of other possibilities of content you can generate off of it. And investing in basically starting to really develop, if for lack of a better word or better term, a story or a dramatic arc.
Sure.
for this season.
I would say in general the kind of scope of what I envision for the Journeymen Lounge podcast now is to very much do season by season, where this is going to be this season, this iteration, and then you're going to have a next year new logo, new content. Hey, we're going to switch it up. We're going to do something different. We're going to do it over here. We're going to do it over there.
New logo, new content, new hosts.
I mean, who knows? We're in talks with.
You can't get rid of the hosts.
We're in talks with Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, so we are offering them a jewel dip and buffalo dip and a crisp.
I hear Stephen Colbert's got some time on his
$5
hands coming up.
I mean, again, we've thrown out a lot of nets, but in general, the guests, though, again, I think I'm going to start pouring in for sure.
So,
but the season to season take, I think will eventually it'll work better to have. Here is the fantasy football season, and then we end because in general, for me, I do not love the fact that. Like some people are like, football, 12 months a year, let's do it. I'm like, no, I like the lead up to football. Like when you get into like July, mid-July to the start of the football season, and then it goes through like January, February, and then there's 2 months until the draft. And then like I'm good with those months in between where I'm like, I'm not really focusing on football. I'm not like it's still there. I still love football. An update comes through. I'm looking at it, but overall, I'm not like one of those guys that are geeked up about like football. Oh my God, this guy got signed in March. I'm like, who the fuck cares? Is he gonna make the opening roster? No. What the fuck are we talking about?
So, stay on fantasy football a little bit there. I've joined a fantasy football league with you. In our family for the first time ever, and boy, you did some work this week. But there's a funny story to our fantasy football league, and that's that we had 2 drafts, and it's because of a scheduling and timing error and not being able to turn it off, and with some communication things sprinkled on top, I was sitting there with some dinner. And got all of my phone blowing up with the alerts and started doing the draft with no knowledge understanding or expertise.
Well, if I'm being honest,
I'll let you talk for a second because I'm going to pull up the draft report, I think.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely show that. We'll put a picture in right there. But again, I did rip into Jeremy just a little bit because I am a commish, and then he ended up being the commish, and I think it was on 98 or 7. Probably had to be 98.
I'm not a commissioner.
But on 98, we're doing the podcast, and then I'm looking at the draft, going like, "What the fuck? Why are we draft? Like, why do I have a full team right now?"
I was very confused.
Well, again, Jeremy he set the draft date and time as a placeholder, then didn't realize that an hour in it locks. Cannot change it, which, again, I did that before. I did that as a commissioner in 3 Penis Wine like 2 or 3 years ago, where I was trying to randomize the order an hour before it locked in. I had to literally redo it, invite everybody again, and then we did the draft the next day, which was a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah.
But, again, I think that's just another, aspect of, again, this is why fucking the commissioner thing, it's difficult, man. You got fucking a lot of moving parts. I will say again, in the context of this is a family league, there's low stakes. My nephew is, the kind of the impetus of why we even started it. He wanted to draft. So we started it. But then again, there's a lot of pieces that go into it. I'm currently playing Jeremy in the new league. I'm beating him 115-54. So suck on that. But go over your.
I did find it. So the context behind this is I have no clue what I'm doing, and what's happening is in my eyes, because I was told one thing, and then all of a sudden this thing's coming up.
Right.
No warning.
Sure.
It just keeps on saying so-and-so's picking, so-and-so's picking, so-and-so's picking. I'm like, well, I guess this is happening. Because there's an increment of time between when they pick. So at the end of the draft, this is the report that I got. Well, folks, it looks like Bustin' Makes Me Feel Good took a bold approach to their draft strategy by not really having one at all. Picking 8th in a 10-team league, they somehow managed to snag a draft grade of F, which is quite the accomplishment. With a projected record of 0-14-0, they might want to consider investing in a crystal ball for next time because this season is shaping up to be a real nail-biter for the other teams, that is. The schedule is tougher than a $2 streak. The schedule is tougher than a $2
I was like, did Yahoo start going R-rated there?
$2 steak. I said streak.
Well, I was thinking $2 something else, but...
Yeah. Well, let's start this again. The schedule is tougher than a $2 steak, and with 2 players on bye week 8, things are looking a bit bleak. 1392.1 projected points. That's a solid number if we were talking about a toddler's finger painting skills.
Jesus Christ. I didn't read all that.
It was brutal. It continues. In a shocking twist, Bustin' Makes Me Feel Good managed to draft 4 players from the same team. The Bears, which is either a masterstroke or a recipe for disaster. Only time will tell. Their best pick was a steal at 28, but their worst pick at 8 has fans scratching their heads and wondering if they were trying to make a statement. Spoiler alert, it's not the kind of statement that gets you into the playoffs. As they gear up for a season that could be more whoops than woe, let's just say that the other teams in Jeremy's Swell League might want to continue on the next page, might want to keep their victory dances on standby. Here's hoping Bustin' Makes Me Feel Good finds a way to turn things around or at least provides us some entertaining moments along the way. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, no idea. I like the Bears, so I drafted a bunch of Bears. Again, not understand the mechanics of it, but I will say this. It definitely gave me a leg up for doing it the second time when we actually did the draft, because now I understood the mistakes.
Honestly, it kind of helped out people that actually looked at it going like, oh, this is how it go. Okay, it goes at this time, and then this. Well, because we're in the family league, there is a handful of people who've literally never done it before, and then like our mom, for example, is like asking like, so how do I do this whole thing? And then she, again, love her to death, but she was like, so I looked at I looked at my phone the other day, and the numbers were this. And then I looked at it again, and then they changed. And I went, Mom, there was a game played. And she goes, oh, okay. like, yeah, the numbers will change when there's a score and all this shit. So it's like, that's the level of kind of involvement that people were.
So, I mean, realistically, I've never had interest in doing fantasy football for a couple reasons, but the one is that there's usually only one game that I care about.
Yeah.
The second reason I got put into on week 1 was now I didn't want to have a vested interest in the Bears not doing well.
Sure.
And, of course, that would have been my only saving grace. However, things did not work out the way. I'm screwed no matter what. So I can enjoy the game a little bit better. But in general, it just, it was like I never really want to do it. But the promise, the allure that got me was that we were going to do it as a group of people. And so there would be, like, I don't know, some supports there.
The draft normally is a huge thing. And then again, when Jeremy unfortunately had it in the, not the wrong time, but just a different time.
Yeah.
It literally then made it where like, hey, man, I can make this draft, but I can't make the next one, which was scheduled then a week later.
Yeah. And that was the thing that brought a timing thing into play. And, he's got kids, so that makes things a little bit harder too. By the way, that in my... in my first draft evaluation, that 8th round pick, or whatever. 8th overall pick was Caleb Williams.
All right.
Yeah. And it hated me for that.
Well, I'll mention 2 things about just drafting in general. 3 things. 1, drafting with people is so much better than drafting alone, hands down.
Yeah.
2,
it's the experience I was going for.
When you go heavy on the Bears, or any team for that matter, any one team, it is unfortunately a recipe for disaster because you're basically limiting just your options. Obviously, you can't have all the guys score if only 3 people or 1 person can get the ball.
And that's a lesson I would not have learned if I did not have that fake draft.
So again, this is your first year though. That's why again you need all of these different, you need years in. I think we were talking about it on my. Not my podcast, obviously we're on my podcast, on the previous episodes where we're trying to determine like how many years have we been doing 3 penis wine, and like again in some version, that is the name of the league, by the way. League shout out, what's up?
You got to put the not safe for work label on your podcast.
Oh, it's explicit. It's definitely explicit.
It's explicit, but boy.
But I think I've been doing it in some way, shape, or form with at least a couple of guys. Joe's been in it for a long time. Probably since 2010, maybe like 2011. So like coming up on like 14, 15 years for sure. But that's the time in. Once you get the time in, you start to kind of understand the draft strategy and what works for you, what doesn't work. The other thing that I will just mention that I don't understand how they haven't fixed this. And so, I mean, fantasy's been around for decades now. Those draft grades are historically wrong. So like that draft grade said, hey, you're going to not win a game. You might win 7 to 10 games that year.
Well, we're going to find out because that league's still active.
Yeah. Jeremy put it up. Not this league.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, because he couldn't turn it off. The neighbor's got some bass.
Yeah, there we go. Got a little bass. But yeah, overall, dude, the family league is going to be fun. I still contend that there probably will be a point at which I think Connor might lose interest. A couple other people might lose interest just because.
Yeah, I
think if we built it more as let's try and watch as many games throughout the season together, which I think we do somewhat. Bears obviously take precedence, but I think if we watch more games, I think everybody will kind of understand why fantasy football is such a great thing, but at the same time, you have a bad season, it'll put a bad taste in your mouth. You'll never want to play again.
Again, I was in it for the experience with the family, and that's what I get out of it. That's great. If I can win a few too, that would be awesome as well. I feel like I got a much better chance with this draft setup. But even still, it's nice. It's nice. It's fine. I'm not super invested in it. Thankfully, we're not playing for money with the family because that'll break some hearts.
Hey, Connor, you're in for 10.
Yeah, you got that $30 you owe me.
Yeah.
But
kid might have more money than me. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. But it's the experience, and I'm glad that our nephew's going to get the experience. I feel better that I'm going to get the experience. and we could kind of go from there and build on it.
I think what would be very, very fun is to just continue with I know a lot of people that have family leagues, and they, usually are started by one person, and then 20 years later they're like, hey, we're still in the family league. Now, obviously, the members will evolve and all that stuff, but I mean, this is just a quick trip down Commish Lane, is that not the problem, but one of the problems with fantasy football in general is the level of dedication. And it just kind of comes out to I, and I think most people in the league want to have a league in which everybody is invested. They like to talk to each other. They like to be engaged about the game. Hey, man, let's go. I'm going to take you down. Let's fucking do it. Usually it's a lot more X-rated than that. But, it seems like I always run into an issue of just simply like, we got 85 to 90% there, and it's just that last 10. It's a guy or two here or there. We've unfortunately, in previous years, I've had to kick some people out because they haven't been checking their lineups and stuff. And it's just like, I want to get to there. I mean, my ultimate goal, this obviously wouldn't be a family league type of deal, but like my ultimate goal is to do a Vegas live draft. I think that would be so much fucking fun to get all 11 guys there if possible. Obviously, schedule is a big thing, but
how many lottery tickets did you buy?
Well, the thing would be is that your airfare and hotel is on you, and then I would float the boat as like, hey, we're gonna do this at a cabana, or I would purchase that stuff to then do it outside, like in a nice thing, or even in a hotel, whatever it is. But the again, that's a pipe dream for sure. The general sense, though, is like fantasy football is great. I think Connor will eventually get into it, but I will contend that maybe he is a little young. And I've seen him lose a game here or there about a video game.
But the advertisement was that we were going to be mostly centered on the draft. And that's kind of what I was in for, was to center on the draft. And, the game is the game. Like, at that point, it doesn't really matter. And, I got my bang for the buck out of it. I was able to actually go over by their house and hang out.
I saw the draft set up. Jeremy sent me over a picture of everybody huddled around the table. That was pretty cool. But, I mean, again, I'm still waiting to see what that league will kind of become. Now, again, I have a competitive edge, so I'm taking no prisoners. Connor, I'm sorry, I love you, but if we go head to head, I'm bringing out the big dogs. Okay, we're not taking it easy just because you're 7. Okay. I'm
thinking of Captain Encino shows no mercy.
I mean, kinda, yeah. But the league, again, we'll see what happens with the fantasy football league. Let's take the last.
As promised, here's the Bears. That's 4 plays he's been scrambling on.
Let's take the last 5 to 10 minutes here, though, to kind of get some thoughts on Bears.
Can I share? I want to share 2 things with you really quick.
Go ahead.
One is that I have not forgotten. I'd really like to do in the future for the podcast a Ghostbusters episode.
Done.
I've got a lot of things in mind for it. Time, unfortunately, has been one of those things that
we'll get it done.
It's a predator constantly chasing us in life.
We'll also do Predator as well.
Ghost Recon, that Predator mod was awesome. But that was one thing. Yeah. The second thing is that as I was listening to the podcast, I consumed it through YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I was going to turn it off, and I saw there was a comment on there. And I don't know if you've seen this comment.
Which one was it?
The only comment on the 100th episode until I replied back.
Oh, no, I didn't see it, no.
I could pull it up, but I'll just summate it. The YouTube algorithm suggested the 100th episode to a random person on YouTube.
Really?
And they found it, clicked it, and congratulated us, congratulated you guys, on the YouTube algorithm finding and recommending the podcast to the general public.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
So I responded from my YouTube account saying, thanks, man, that's great, on behalf of the podcast. I hope that it was okay.
Oh, did I? I mean, Bobby's kind of the guy in charge of the comments and stuff.
I just happened to see it, and I wanted to get on top of it. And
hell yeah, man. Shout out to that guy.
Pretty cool thing. It's a nice accomplishment. It's nice that the algorithm is recognizing your hard work.
Yeah, definitely. I don't look at the comments simply from the standpoint that we haven't had a whole lot except that one douche, and I'll fucking keep bringing it up until I die. I mean, he said that the podcast was a talk fest. I'm like, that's what a podcast is, man. We've done this for 100 episodes. We talk a lot. If you don't like talking, it's the wrong thing for you.
So
sorry.
now you're going to have to do Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as one of your movies, because that's the whole premise of the movie is somebody on the internet being a dickhead and then paying heed to it. So you got to let it go, man. I mean, you got to let it go.
Oh, dude, I bring it up very
I'm aware.
much,
that's not letting it go.
but I bring it up very much jokingly because I think it's such an asinine comment. If it
it's still the opposite of letting it go.
But what I'm saying though is like if it was a legitimate comment of like, hey, when you guys talk about this, you're just talking at your ass, I would be like, oh shit, we got to be better. But to say just again in general, you guys talk like so much, it just seems like you just don't get it, do you?
The internet has given you a great tool for those moments. Delete the comment.
No, I'm leaving it on there. I don't care. I bring it up, but I really I could give a shit. I'm not going to the guy's page at night going like, all right, well, let me type something to you too, man.
Every time he presses the record button, he goes, motherfucker.
No, it just happens that somebody brings it up, and I'm like, God, I gotta mention something about it because again, an asinine comment. But I digress. No, in general, man, that's awesome that the person found it. I think again our goal is not to be so, huge that I could stop working based off of this thing. I'm just simply trying to put out some stuff that people will find, and then eventually, like, we can look back and we go, like, this is some great shit, man. Like, this was awesome. You remember when this happened? Like, we're just kind of making memories, which is sick to do. The Bears, though... if we're good on those two comments. The Bears, though, I mean, it's kind of not a great game right now. It's 7-3 in the second. But I will say, I mean, at least the Bears have done football things. I mean, there was, a throw from Caleb Williams to Rome Odunze, and it looked kind of sketchy. Maybe he got in, maybe he didn't. You run up to the line, you get that playoff. That's a football play.
Yeah.
And this is what, I mean, it's so crazy, but like, this is what the Bears have been missing is like, these are simple things that I think it's down to coaching. And now we have Ben Johnson, not Eberflus, which I don't think Eberflus really understood what he was doing as a head coach. And
is he going to be one of your guests?
Well, Eberflus is how he became he's an offensive coordinator on Dallas or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't get either, but when it comes to,
would you just see we got the former Saints head coach?
Yeah, Dennis Allen is a great head coach. He's a defensive coordinator, but like that's what you want. You want coordinators, you want head coaches, former head coaches as your coordinators. That's really what you want.
Yeah.
But the thing about Ben Johnson, I'm just going to kind of rave on him for a little bit here, is that. He's simply changed the culture in a matter of months. It is unbelievable to see a culture change where they cut rookies that are messing around at training camp. Says, we don't need that here. We're here to win. Love that.
Yeah.
The Bears blow out Buffalo in preseason, 38-0. There is literally everything in that game was pretty much great. He goes, we got to be better. That was not our best football. Let's do better. Then he comes out and he's still like, again, he's a hard ass on the things that it's like, we need to be perfect. It's like that Denzel speech in Remember the Titans. We will be perfect in every way. I mean, I just like that again. He's bringing in the tenacity of like, hey, we need to fucking be better than the other team. And I think pretty much all the head coaches in the previous era of the Bears, probably back into Lovey, were just simply like, hey, we're here to like hopefully win some games. And Ben Johnson, I feel like, is more like, we're here to fucking win. We're going to win, and we're going to be fucking excellent at what we do. And that's what the Bears have been missing. I mean, there's no head coach that you can think of since Lovey, and even Lovey was a little bit more timid, But like I'll even stretch back then to Ditka. I mean, you haven't seen a coach who's like, I'm the coach, you're the player. We're in this together, but believe me, I'm your boss. Like, I'm in charge of this shit. That's the vibe that I get from Ben Johnson, for sure.
But, to pull, from movies,
Yeah.
you got Gene Hackman and Replacements.
Such a good one. We've
But
check out the
you know which
Replacements
line I'm talking about, where he's I don't want to coach what is it, Baby Millionaires?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I can't remember the exact
Whatever,
quote, but it brings it to mind
it
where he's intimating he doesn't want to be a coach for millionaires and try to tell them what to do because they're making a ton of money.
I mean, again, the Bears have been. I'm just gonna say, I mean, the Bears have been bad for so long that the only eventual place was to go. It is up. I'm not reading into a 7-3 lead at halftime, maybe a little bit more. I'm not reading into that as like, oh my God, they're back.
Well,
even though Cam shot out and fucking texted me after Caleb Williams scored the touchdown and goes, Super Bowl, baby. I'm like,
I'm going to tell you one thing that hasn't changed is that reorganizing that offensive line has done absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
because I've seen 5 plays where he's running for his life.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's not a development. It's not a QB sneak. He is just out of options and trying to do the best he can with what little he's got.
I'm going to say he needs a little bit more time. They need a little bit more time to be cohesive.
Yes.
But in general, what I've seen from Caleb Williams is he's making plays with his feet, which we know he could do. But the thing that we need to see is how he can throw the ball. The Bears, again, the offensive line is good, but they are not good to run for DeAndre Swift to run 2,000 yards behind. Okay? He's going to, excuse me, they need to really be a deep threat. They need to be throwing the ball, and so that people respect the throw, and then they can hand it off and run. I know a lot of times it's usually opposite. Establish the run so that you can play action and pass. But in reality, the Bears have not had a 4,000-yard passer in their fucking team history. So it's like, why would anybody respect the pass against a team that can't throw the fucking ball? Even when Trubisky was doing as much as he can, even when Jay Cutler was doing as much as he can, it's 3,800 yards, I think, is the max.
But now you're hitting on the Bears' saving grace in those years past. If you talk about Super Bowl teams and everything else, it's always the defense. When you're with Lovey,
special teams defense.
Luffy, the defense was scoring almost as much as the offense, if not more, in a couple of the games.
I mean, the Bears monsters, the midway and the 4-6-D has always been a huge identity of Chicago. Yeah. I am ready for the flip. I want the defense to be comparable, but I really want the offense to be something
that's a good play.
I just want the offense to be something that we can go, hey, we can fucking do this too.
I just want to be proud.
I mean, in reality, again, man, I would love to have a franchise quarterback. I mean, how crazy is that to say that, like, a franchise quarterback, again, to me, my definition would be a guy that has been with your club for at least 5 to 8 years and has set records, taking your team to playoffs. That would be a franchise quarterback to me. We've had guys who have done well with the club in a stretch of time. I mean, Jay Cutler is as close as I think you can get to a franchise quarterback, but in general, the team around him wasn't great, so that it ends up leading to be, hey, we got this guy, he was all right, but we didn't do anything.
It's interesting because I have kind of the opposite feel. Not that Cutler wasn't good, but I don't think he was the right guy for the team. I mean, I always felt like that era, Urlacher was the real leader of the team through and through.
Well, I mean, Urlacher played a little bit. Jay Cutler was just on the tail end. I don't know if he maybe had one season with Urlacher.
Yeah.
And even then, at the end, Urlacher, you could tell, like, he's obviously an aging linebacker. But Jay Cutler, you're right. Jay Cutler was not a leader. He wasn't the guy to be.
I'd only ever see him come out of a problem and just blame everybody else.
No, when he's got the helmet on the head like this and his hands on his hip going, what the fuck's going on over there?
Yeah.
I don't, not me. But yeah, there's a leadership problem there for sure. But then I would just say in general that when your your franchise leading quarterback happens, like the most yards, most touchdowns, all that shit. When that shit happens, when you're fucking, I think they probably went like 7-9 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's mediocrity. It's like, hey, he passed for so many yards because they were always fucking down.
Yeah.
And then they, again, I think they maybe went to playoffs twice with Jay Cutler, but in general, that's my goal. I don't really, the record is important, but not as important as just like development of a number one pick that we have. We have the number one overall pick from last year. We took multiple QBs in the first round in the last few drafts, last 6 years or so, and none of them have panned out. This is the one that's got to pan out. That's my kind of not saving grade, but like that's my prediction for this Bears season is that I need Caleb Williams to pass for at least 4,000 yards, but if he's around that ballpark, I'm good with that. That's fine.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. If you're a quarterback in the draft and the Bears pick you, what is your reaction?
Well, you saw that, I'm sure that memoir, whatever, quarterbacks series or whatever, where Caleb's father was like, fuck Chicago, we don't want him going there, and trying to move pieces around and whatever. I think up until the last 2 years, the offseason of this year, Chicago was not a premium destination.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to go here. When Brady had his whole thing, he didn't want to go to Chicago, wasn't one of his premier destinations. So I think for a long time, Chicago has not been a prime destination because the talent of football and the way that the organization has been run is less desirable than other places. So you have that it doesn't bode well for free agents. You want free agents to come here, and you can't sign them because they don't want to come here. So now that that's changed, I think there's definitely a bigger positive image with Chicago. So like I think people that they draft now are a little bit more excited to come to Chicago. But overall, I mean, this is the beauty of where we're at, is that you have a number one overall pick quarterback and you are invested in him. You've invested in the line. You've invested in the wide receiving core. This is the time where you say, hey, Caleb, you got all the pieces, man. You got to make it work now. If you're a professional quarterback, you have to make it work. Find the guy, throw the out route, just like that. I mean, that's a professional throw right there, as we just saw. So
that's a coherent play.
I think Caleb Williams passes the eye test for sure. I think again, on paper and when you see some of these throws, I think you go, absolutely, dude, he can do it. He can do very well. But again, football is a team sport. So you have to have these guys around you to really help and get everything going. Otherwise, again, you're going to do what you did last year and put Caleb Williams out on a fucking spit roast and go, hey, man, good luck.
Was it 68 sacks last year?
68, 67, some shit like that.
It's what a low bar. What do you, we want to be under 68 sacks.
Yeah, right? For real, what is that? That averages out to
I can do that.
4 a game or some shit like that.
I mean, like, I guess to my point, too, it's like at a certain point, it's like, for Chicago, it's like, what are you guys going to do? Draft an offensive lineman first pick?
How about, I mean, yeah, dude, you were kind of at that point, for real, to be like, hey, we need so much help on the offensive line that we got to do something.
I mean, you got to do something drastic, something big at that point.
But yeah, I just like the potential of Chicago right now. We're on an up and up, and frankly, I mean, the Cubs are doing all right now, but I have a feeling the Cubs are going to fall flat in the playoffs for sure. But like they're I think they're the Chicago team with the most hype for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, and there's a lot of stuff there too with the news today. I don't know if you saw this, but press release from the Bears president CEO reaffirming the commitment to move the team to the new stadium in Arlington Heights.
Yep.
I personally am still a little bit against it. Just from the standpoint of, I don't think that the infrastructure is there to support the team in Arlington Heights. Although the state of Illinois seems to agree with the Bears and have been destroying all of Route 53, which is my ride home, to try to widen it for that accommodation. But I don't know what happened with that relationship there, but I think that is actually a big part of the buzz too, is that the team is reinvesting in a new stadium, new facilities. And trying to become a competitor from the business front in the NFL as well.
I mean, they're going to make a shitload of money when they're putting in millions of dollars, but they're going to make so much money in that suburb location. And again, I think also one thing that'll easily help revenue for sure is to get I mean, they have McCormick Place that they use as a lot, but to have that lot right around the stadium, I think will be even better for just, again, getting to the game and stuff. I love Soldier Field, don't get me wrong, but it is a fucking nightmare to get to. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Well, it's great if you're the guy riding in the car. It's terrible if you're driving it, especially after a cold game. You got the heat on.
Yeah.
Well, man, by the time you make it home, you are tired.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's going to change any way with the traffic, and that's kind of my fear with moving them to Arlington Heights.
Uh-huh.
But it should be an exciting moment. I will have the pleasure and the privilege of going to a Bears game in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm going to go see the Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Play the Cowboys. And taking a longtime friend who grew up as a Cowboys fan and has never been to a professional football game. Aaron Stoller.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah, so we're going to go see the Cowboys and be able to take him to a home game there. And we'll see if he can make it out of the stadium alive wearing a Cowboys jersey.
I mean, Chicago fans, they look menacing, but they're really not.
I will say that by and large, there's a lot. Sometimes there's some talk, but I don't
there's
see
no
much
physical
craziness.
altercation.
Yeah.
It's not like we're in Philly.
Well, you can't say it by and large.
I'm just saying, for
the most part,
most of the time, it's not like you're in Philly or a Dallas where there's fist fights happening. And Somong actually just sent me a video of like, hey, look at this guy getting his ass beat at a fucking Philly game. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I saw that video. Never mind.
Oh, well. All right. So, again, the Aaron and Wode show, we're, I think the next iteration or next episode that we do will probably be a tabletop game. We haven't done one in a while.
That is true.
So, looking forward to that. Again, man, a lot of stuff coming. I'm glad we did kind of a recap and a little debrief on the 100th episode. Again, it was a tremendous amount of fun. I can't say that enough. It was great to be kind of just loving the football and everything that goes into it. I will say, there are things now that I kind of know of, like, it's going to be better to do it this way or do it this way.
You learn a lot really quick.
It is going to be nice to kind of understand that aspect now and learning, hey, this is how this goes. Like, you got to learn how to do this. And again, I'm hoping the editing will eventually, kind of get there as well, where people will then start to see, oh yeah, they're doing some actually, some real crazy shit, stuff that people very much enjoy to watch. As of right now, I'll be very honest, man, it's a time-consuming thing, so you really are just trying to get, like, churning it out to get episodes out, and then hopefully we will get to a point where it's not just that, it's going to be, hey, this is going to be a easy thing to do. I can get it out and it's going to look professional. So hopefully that's coming up. Just again, guys, stick with us. It's going to be a good time. But any final thoughts, Aaron?
I'm looking forward to see what the future brings for the podcast. I know a couple things we've talked about in trying to improve the workflow for the podcast, but one of the big ones is being able to build up, having 2, maybe 3 episodes ready to go, so that you're not filming one week, editing the next day, and then trying to get it out on Friday.
Yeah.
Because that takes a lot. It takes a lot to try to get that stuff done in that small amount of time.
Sure. I mean, again, these are all things that are, again, you kind of live and learn through the first, 100 episodes, and now I feel like we're on a good path to get to the next 100. So,
well, and I want to say congratulations again to you, to Bobby, to Ryan, for putting forth a great product, and you guys kind of pushed me to be able to do a podcast. It's something I always wanted to do.
Fuck yeah.
Always wanted to be able to record one and build one up, and the stars aligned that we were able to do it and make it happen. And it's been great to be a part of it. It's pushed me to buy some new gear and try out some new things. So hopefully we'll see some advancements in there. And like I said, we've got some big things I think coming up on the horizon, and some cool things to see and for the audience to see. So
hell yeah.
Thank you.
The Journeymen Lounge podcast will ride again. 101st episode done, in the books, on to 102. Stay tuned.
Go Bears.
The Bars.